Hey guys, so hope you're having a wonderful time today.
Oh, wait a minute.
Professor McIntyre and I have decided to talk about family and
Marriage.
marriage. Uh,
Marriage.
no, that's not how the line goes. Anyway, to educate him on how The Princess Bride actually goes, please make sure to do a monthly donation. We'd really appreciate it. If you can't afford that, then just a one-time donation would be great. And also sharing this video, following it, subscribing, be wonderful. Marriage. Marriage is what brings us together today. Has no one showed you The Princess Bride?
I've always seen it for many times. I've seen it while I've been feeding the chickens. I've been seeing them.
Okay, Gregory. You sound just like my brother, Gregory. That being said, marriage, family, all that stuff. There's so much talk in the conservative movement and just people in general about, oh, we need to get back to the family. Oh, the 1950s family structure. Oh, we miss it so much. What exactly are they talking about? And why should two bachelors such as ourselves be talking about this topic?
Well, if we wanted to get married to each other, there's a good reason to talk about it.
I know what you want, and it's not happening. You're not rich enough.
No. Oh, so you're a Catamite. I see. You're a Catamite.
Well, you're poor.
We finally realized now why he.
Guys, this is why you need to donate. That's the only way it's going to work.
Good. Right. Yeah. Anyway, one of the most interesting things that ever happened to me is that when I was in the seminary, we used a book on sociology called Marriage and the Family. And it was based upon Thomas Aquinas's Tractatus on the Marriage and the Family. And when I was teaching philosophy at Westfield State College in the 1960s, early 1970s, the sociology department professor John Donovan, he used the same book. And what is the premise of that book? The premise of that book is that the family is the basic unit of society. That's premise number one. And okay, that's where the book starts. And it's based upon natural law. All right? It's based upon the natural. What is the natural law? It's the way things are in nature. Right?
Now, quick note on natural law. This has always bewildered me. It gets thrown around a lot. It's not really. It doesn't. Yeah. It's not like the Constitution where you can read it for yourself and it's there. It's more ambiguous. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, the natural law is not ambiguous. It's totally unambiguous.
Oh, I see. So it's.
I misunderstood your question. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
No, the natural law is unambiguous in the following way.
Okay.
Every human event, every human action has a specific predefined purpose. What is the purpose of marriage? The purpose of marriage is for one man and one woman to copulate so that they produce a child. Okay. Does that mean that everybody who gets married must produce a child? No. But you must at least be able to do so in principle. In principle, you have to have sperm and you have to have egg and you have to have the conjoining of that and forming a new and unique entity called the child. The child that never existed before.
So if somebody,
that's the natural law.
Okay, so I'm probably not going to get too far into the weeds, but if someone say was infertile or sterilized, is it impossible for them to get married under that law?
If they are still, if the man has a penis and the woman a vagina, then they can be married because in principle they have the equipment.
Well, what if the equipment's not functioning?
That doesn't matter. That's not necessary for the natural law to be. There are cows and bulls that cannot produce calves. Okay, that does not mean that they are not fertile. That does not mean that they are not mates. All right. So the point here is that you must be able to produce in principle, not in practicum. In principle.
Interesting.
That's the natural law.
Okay, so I'm not going to get any further in the weeds. Let's take this over.
We don't need to.
I know you want to talk
about the population thing. We don't.
I know you want to talk more about that. So, in terms of society and how the world is, could you explain a bit more? How is this principle translating to modern society?
Well, in modern society, you'll say homosexuals cannot be married persons because they don't have the equipment. They do not, in principle, have the ability to produce a child out of their own junk stuff. Okay? Not possible.
Well, with that,
They
well, I
can
mean,
hire a whore
yeah, there we go.
they can do artificial insemination. They can do all that kind of, techno wizardry. Yeah, they can do all that stuff, but that's not natural. That's not natural. That's not nature. That's not the natural.
So, as far as modern society goes, as we all know, I find it really fascinating to believe 2015. The Supreme Court in Oberfell v. Hodges, whatever, ruled that homosexual marriage is to be enforced across state lines. It's not a state issue. It's now a national thing. It's in the Constitution now.
Right.
That being said,
right.
How does your or what you described, natural law and all that stuff, why does it have no effect on people?
I don't deny that the state has the right to determine who can be married and who cannot be married in the eyes of the state. I'm arguing that the state does not have the right to determine who can be married and who can be married under natural law.
So I want to take a step back here. You don't really subscribe to any mainline religion.
No.
So you're not pleading any religious case. You're pleading a natural law case.
No, I'm pleading the total natural law case, right?
So even
I'm not invoking God, I'm not invoking a religion. No, none of that. No.
So even if I was Hindu, Jewish, atheist,
Doesn't
I
matter.
still have to abide by the
natural law.
Okay.
Which, by the way, in all cultures from time immemorial has been recognized that marriage is between one man and one woman for the very purpose of procreating a child. Doesn't mean you have to procreate. Doesn't mean there will be a child, but you got to have the stuff, the junk, the stuff.
So that being said, because I know how much you love talking about your junk, that all being said, if two men or two women want to have nothing to do with making a child,
right?
Is that immoral on their part?
No, it's mutual masturbation, which it's like jockeys riding a horse. Who cares, right? Nobody cares.
So where you clearly get ticked off is them calling it a marriage.
Exactly. Oh yeah. It may be a marriage in the eyes of the law, but it is not by the civil law. But it is not a marriage at all, and never can be a marriage in the eyes of natural law. Correct. That's my view.
I see. Well, there you go, folks. That's Professor McIntyre.
I just want to put a final point on it.
Sure.
And by the same reasoning, a man can never be a woman, and a woman can never be a man. That is also against the natural law.
Okay, there you go, folks. Mark McIntyre with his feelings, not his facts.
No, biological fact.
I said not your facts. Like
biological.
Yeah, that's that. Thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate it. It's always fascinating to hear a religious point, religious moral point, argued from a non-religious point.
From a secular philosophy.
I find it very fascinating. That being said, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for listening, folks. You take care.
Send more money.
Yeah, we love that, dude. Like, subscribe, share.